You know, people like to ask me, am I back? Wait, how do words go? People like to ask me, am I? And see, people keep asking if I'm back. And I'm back with a comic book. Is that how I win? You know, these openings just keep getting worse. But hello, good peoples. Day here from Omni-Nation Comics. I'm still laughing. Welcome back to the channel. I have a fantastic book to talk about today. It is written by Keanu Reeves and Matt Kindt. It is the BRZRKR Deluxe, and this is the Deluxe edition by Boom Studios. This is actually, and I love Keanu Reeves, by the way. He has one of the most humble spirits in Hollywood. One of my favorite actors. Love him, man. He's just awesome. This is his first comic book. Mind you, this is a character, first of all, the character looked just like him. And this is a book for mature readers. I'm sure you can see that probably at the bottom of the slipcase there. It is, I'm sure you can see it right there at the bottom. It is definitely meant for mature readers. It is a violent showdown, this comic is, okay? I ain't gonna lie, 7 or 8-year-old me will still be going crazy over this comic just because of how fun it is. Y'all know Boom Studios, don't you? Boom Studios, Power Rangers, Claws, Once and Future, Something is Killing a Cheer-in. Okay, yeah, that's Boom Studios, an independent comic company. Yeah, Boom Studios, they release some awesome titles, and this is no different. I love BRZRKR. When I first heard that this comic was coming out, they did it through a Kickstarter, and I think the Kickstarter had about they had some Slipcase Deluxe editions just like this, but I think they split those deluxes to 4 issues apiece. I think, somebody correct me if I'm wrong down there. I'm glad I waited for this, because to me, this felt more worth the money than... Boom was definitely flexing because it was Keanu Reeves writing the book. Yeah, that was worth some money, and it sold like crazy. But I'm glad I waited for this, because this has all 12 issues of the story in this one slipcase alone. So I was glad I waited. But anyway, if we take a look at this slipcase, you're going to see on the right side of the slipcase, you have this bloody fist and this kind of like foil, kind of like material. And I dig it. And on the other side, you have the BRZRKR title as well in this red kind of like foil material. And on the spine, same thing. The title, the authors and colorists, etc., etc. It's a nice slip quality made slipcase. I got to give Boom Studios credit. I really do dig it. Now, when you take the book out of the slipcase, you do see our character B right here on the front with the white glowing eyes. This is drawn by Ron Garney, by the way. His artwork throughout the story is very cinematic and fantastic. And if you look on the back of the book, it says, an immortal warrior cursed with violence. I find that to be very, very true. Please keep that in mind. When you look at the binding on this book, I will say the binding is fantastic. You have a nice eye, and it holds up really, really well. As you read, I've read this book 4 times now, and it really holds really well. I really love the binding. And on the back of the book, there are a ton of extras. You have the director's cut of the issue number 1. And you know what? I will say, with the director's cut, that's money's worth alone, because I love going behind the scenes of these stories and reading what goes through the mindset of what the writers were trying to do with the story. So Keanu Reeves and Matt Kindt are talking about their thoughts on it, and it's really fascinating what goes through the mind of writers when it comes to these kind of stories. And it's deep. It goes very deep. And then later on, you do get variant covers, because they don't have it throughout the book. You have to go to the back, and you got full page bleed of variants. And I got to say, that's money's worth. That's money's worth. So if you didn't collect this run in single issues, it's good to have it in this oversized format. It's the same height as an omnibus, by the way. So yeah, it's that tall. But it's a lot of good extras back there. And then when you open the book from the front, you have your red end sheets, you have your title page, and of course you have your credits. I really dig this design, man. Now, I ain't gonna lie, when I first read this story, it's a 12-issue series, by the way. When I first read this story, I thought this was legit just gonna be your typical blockbuster, blow stuff up, which it pretty much is. There's more to the story than you will realize. Watch where I'm going. In this story, you have BRZRKR, or as they like to call him, B. B is working for the U.S. government, and this is where the story really starts to flex what B can do, right? And when I say violence is an understatement to describe this part of the story, because you see him punching people's guts out, decapitation, everything violent that you could think of under the sun. That is what B is doing to some of these enemies that they are having him to eliminate. It is violent. Whoa! One of the things I like to describe this story is John Wick meets Wolverine. Why do I say that? Because B looks just like Keanu Reeves. And, you know, we know Keanu Reeves as one of his greatest roles, which is John Wick. That nice long hair, beard, stylish. I don't know if I want to call the violence in this book stylish, because it's just savage. That's where the Wolverine part comes in. But he also can regenerate. If you blow him up, he will regenerate. If you stab him, all that, anything, it's not gonna work. The man is just unkillable. Now, while the U.S. government have a mission of their own of using him to make their mission easier, B made a deal with them because he has a mission of his own. There's a doctor in this story that plays a major role in this story. Her name is Dr. Diana, and they give him this protocol, kind of like pills, to help him remember his memories because he's trying to understand himself. B been around for 80,000 years. First of all, that is mind-blowing. That pretty much makes him a god at this point. But he's trying to understand, why isn't he killable? One of the lines that stuck with me, he said, "I told you I don't want to die. I just want to be able to die." There is more to this character than him just being a weapon or just being cursed with violence. He's tired of being used. That's something that I can personally relate to. Now, in issue 2, that's where you really start to see that protocol pill work, where you start to see him uncover some memories on where he came from, because his family way back in the day, come back with me, way back in the day were part of the nomad tribes, and his mother prayed to the gods for a weapon because their tribe was always robbed by other tribes. Like, violence always happens. They were always rolled over or run over by these other tribes. They had no help. But his mother prayed for a weapon, and she was delivered a baby that grew and was born really, really fast. I mean, like over a few weeks, grew into an adult really quick. But what's sad, over time, you start to see that this baby that she had, he grew tired too. Because even though he got the job done for them and help his tribe, help his family and his tribe and everything, over time you start to see the emotion in this violent character develop. Like, yo, I'm tired of just being a weapon. Is that all you made me to be? Is that all that you see in me is just a weapon? Like, you rarely see in this story him talking about, you know, what does he want to be when he grows? Like, he never had that standard kind of like family moment. It was just, you go do this. Now, I really feel sad for the mama in this story because she was one of the few that actually can see him. You know, like I think there was a line in issue 2 where she told the father, like, yo, that weapon is still a boy. At the end of the day, right? That's still a child. But you're just using him to just get, you know, for your advantage. That's the word. You're just using him for your advantage. It gets sad. There's layers to the story that was something I did not expect to come out of this story. Not from this. I did not. That's another thing too that I got to mention. During his backstory, his real name is Anut. That's what they call him BRZRKR because he goes crazy with the violence, but his real name is Anut. But B has went through a lot of betrayal. I just said it. He's just being taken advantage of. People were just using him. But he dealt with a lot of betrayal. That's the pitch of this whole story, is this immortal warrior just wants to become mortal. You know, he, not saying he wants to die, but he just wants, you know, to be able to die. That's all he wants. This sounds like a character to me that's just tired. I can really relate to that because people in life really just, they don't want you for you. They want to just step on you or to just be, how my grandma call it? Oh, I like how my grandma call them leeches. They just want to use you till you dry for their full advantage. Wow, what a story this is. And without spoiling anything, I am so mad. And I mean this in a good way. I am so mad that this story is 12 issues. Why, Keanu? Why? Why is it 12 issues? Reading this, I double dipped a lot. I had this story in single issues. I think I still have my variants up there. But anyway, I still got the trades, which I'll probably be getting rid of soon, and the deluxe edition, of course. I love this story. I did not expect to relate to this character at all because that sucker is a killing machine. But it's the same thing with Punisher as well. I didn't expect to relate to these killing machines. I just thought they were just that, killing machines. But there's another layer. I like that when you walk into stories like this with no expectation. This is a page turner. You can read this literally today and finish it today. The writing goes by that fast. Like, I literally just reread this again before making this video. Like, it reads that fast. I still feel like I didn't get my full closure. There is so much still to unpack with this story. Keanu, I need y'all to come back to this. I know Boom Studios still have their little spin-off series that goes over some of the stuff that happened 80,000 years ago and stories of, you know, what he went through with different cultures. But no, I want to go to the future. I want to come back to this. Y'all need to come back and do more of this. I was so invested because I wanted to see where it went. Because the way, whoo, man, I didn't get my closure. Come on, man, bring B back. I need more of this. I really do. I need more because there's still so much. They left room for, I think they said they're going to have more writers do more stuff in the future for them, but I want this same team because I like the way the writing was flowing. It was flowing really well. And reading this like this hits differently than single issue. But I want more of this. What an excellent story. It's so much fun. Ron Garney. Let me talk to Ron Garney real quick, who did the artwork. It is so cinematic. And it was colored by Bill Crabtree. It is phenomenal cinematic artwork. I think it matches the tone of the story so well. I enjoy the panel layouts throughout here. I mean, just the opening of the book alone, where you just see B just sitting on a bench and just wandering in this rain. It's wow. It's very, very cinematic. It makes the storytelling a little bit more intense, if you will. I enjoy the artwork. And Keanu Reeves and Matt Kindt. Matt Kindt, for those that don't know, he wrote some amazing stuff at Valiant, which I think that's his standout stuff in my opinion. But I love them both. Him and Keanu, they did a fantastic job on the writing. But y'all go get this here book. This is so much fun, and I hope we get more of this. We got the little paperbacks of the past stories, but I want to keep going. I want to see where this goes. And if I'm correct, Netflix is doing an anime and a live action film of this. Keanu Reeves obviously is going to star as B. I don't know how he going to do that while they got a John Wick Chapter 5 coming up. I don't know how they're going to do that, but forget that. Oh no, why are they doing that too? Why y'all doing that? Why is there a Chapter 5 for John Wick? But anyway, no, y'all need to, Keanu, he need to save all his energy if he gonna do it for this character. This character requires a lot of strength because whoa, whoa. But y'all, please go get this. Go get this. This is so much fun. Our channel sponsor, Organic Price Books, still has it in stock. Or yeah, but this is a very fun story about a character I did not expect to relate to. This story spoke to my pain because I know what that feels like. But go get this, man. This is so good. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope I did the talk about this book justice. Go get it, and deuces. Have a wonderful day.